mind is the master of the body, and is the basis upon which enlightenment can be achieved. When the mind is quiet, all objects are silent. When the mind stirs, a jumble of thoughts arises at random. If you can be empty and clear, with nothing whatsoever on your mind, not producing thoughts from within, not taking in things from without, always responsive yet always calm yet always responsive, then even if you are daily in the midst of excitement and agitation, your mind will be clear as a mirror and still as a lake, without dust, without waves. Then you will naturally be unaffected by circumstances. When people become temperamental, the harm is very great. The slightest offense sets them off into a rage. It damages nature and injures reason, so that they are unaware of their own greed and passion. They do not understand their own narrowness. They do not care about essential life. They are not mindful of life and death. The troubles this causes are not simple. If one can master oneself and exercise restraint, turn back from inflexibility and become yielding, sweep away all anger, resentment, and annoyance, get rid of all contentiousness, change the aggressive and violent nature back into a gentle taciturn nature, concentrate the energy and make it flexible, empty the mind and nurture the spirit, be selfless and impersonal, not discriminate between self and others, view one's own body as having no such body, view one's mind as having no such mind, have no discrimination and no knowledge, and be empty and open. This is like cold ashes yielding no warmth when stirred. One can thereby be in the midst of creation without being influenced by creation. The nature of the monkey is wild and uncertain, but if you leash it, it will follow human direction, unable to do whatever it wants. The nature of the horse is stubborn and intractable, but with a bridle and headstall on, it will follow human direction, unable to gallop off. Rectify the mind and make the intent sincere. The stubborn mind of humans comes and goes irregularly, its home unknown, like the wildness of a monkey, without a moment's peace and quiet. The wandering intentions of humans arise and disappear inconsistently, suddenly here, suddenly there, like the stubbornness of a horse, never at rest for a moment. The two of these are in cahoots, increasing human desires and obscuring their celestial reality. Because of this, essence and life are gradually destroyed, so the trouble they cause is most intense and the harm they cause is most great. So the first priority for practitioners is to rectify the mind and make the intent sincere. When the mind is correct, then everything is open. When the intent is sincere, then thoughts do not arise. When everything is open and thoughts do not arise, use this to cultivate essence, and essence can be clarified. Use this to cultivate life, and life can be established. But it is not easy to learn to rectify the mind and make the intent sincere. It is necessary to make a genuine effort in order to accomplish this. Genuine effort involves being careful of yourself, wary of what is unseen and unheard, consciously aware at all times, examining yourself again and again, not letting the stubborn mind or its arbitrary intentions stir at all, even in secret. This is like chaining a wild monkey or bridling a stubborn horse, not letting them indulge in their natures. Since ancient times, the immortal real people have likened the mind to a monkey and the intent to a horse, because they truly saw that when the mind and intent are wild and foolish, this is a tremendous obstacle on the way, and they did not allow a moment's looseness. Learners can actually control their stubborn mind and return it to rectitude, transform their errant intent and restore it to sincerity. Having a mind means having an ego, which means seeing others as others and self as self. When you view yourself as separate from others, you seek advantage for yourself without regard for loss to others. You become crafty and wily, your personal desires multiply at random. Your natural goodness is lost. If you cannot even accumulate virtues, how can you presume to imagine realization of the way? This is why true seekers of the way make haste to overthrow egoism and abandon selfish behavior. In their lives in response to the world, they regard themselves and others impartially, and regard all classes as equal. Dealing with things as they arise, true seekers respond to them but do not take them in. They pass by and do not linger. They handle all sorts of situations without minding. Not minding, they are egoless. Being egoless, they are inwardly pure. Being inwardly pure, they are flawlessly clear, wholly integrated with the design of nature. Creation cannot constrain you. Myriad things cannot harm you. The infant is without conscious discernment or cognition. It is simply mindless. And nothing can harm it. The life of human beings is dependent on the three treasures of vitality, energy, and spirit. When the three treasures are together, people live, and when the three treasures are scattered, people die. If you want to get the three treasures together, first you must be selfless. When selfless, the mind is open. When the mind is open, the three treasures do not leak away or dissipate. There as only increase, there cannot be decrease. Increasing. Without decrease, increasing and increasing, one will become inwardly fulfilled. People receive the energy of the temporal five forces, which form their bodies. In the body is stored the energy of the five forces. This energy in the human body acts up to become the five robbers, which are joy, anger, sadness, happiness, and craving. These five robbers are cohorts that strip away the real basis. Therefore, what has birth must have death. Perfected human beings transform the temporal and restore the primal. They rest their bodies in open space, store their spirits in silent tranquility. Uninvolved with the energy of the five forces, they are unmoved by myriad things. They have no smoke, no fire, like cold ashes. They have no form, no shape. Like the sky or a valley. Heaven and earth cannot constrain them. Creation cannot rule them. This is called controlling the working of energy. You master your own life, and are not mastered by heaven. This is because heaven and earth can employ what has a body, but cannot employ the bodiless. Heaven and earth can employ what has energy, but cannot employ what has no energy. Heaven and earth can employ what has mind, but cannot employ the mindless. If you are mindless, then you have no energy. If you have no energy, you have no body or oblivious of your bodies. There is only open space. The real five forces are referred to as metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The heart is associated with fire, whose virtue is courtesy. The kidneys and genitals are associated with water, whose virtue is intelligence. The lungs are associated with metal, whose virtue is justice. The liver is associated with wood, whose virtue is humaneness. The spleen is associated with earth, whose virtue is truthfulness. Wood, metal, fire, water, and earth are the essences of the five forces: humaneness, justice, courtesy, intelligence, and truthfulness are the virtues of the five forces. These are primally inherent realities. When the spirit hidden in the heart bursts out as delight, the vitality hidden in the genitals bursts out as sorrow, the mundane soul hidden in the lungs bursts out as anger, the heavenly soul hidden in the liver bursts out as joy, and the intent hidden in the spleen bursts out as desire. These are temporally acquired artificialities. After people are born, the primal is mixed into the temporal, and the temporal is mixed into the primal. Considering this mixture and adulteration, if we do not refine away acquired artificialities, then the primal will not return. If we borrow the temporal to refine the primal while using the primal to transform the temporal, when the temporal is completely transformed in the primal is completely whole, This frees a radiant pearl whose light pervades heaven and penetrates earth. What human life depends on is spirit and energy. When events take place, people cannot but respond to them, and when things come up, they cannot but deal with them. Using events to control events, organizing things according to what is there, not looking forward to what has not come, not dwelling on what has passed. The spirit is not injured and the energy is not dissipated. This is like plants and trees, flowering and fruiting in season. This is the enlivening path. If people are greedy and passionate, ambitious and always conniving, forming strategies for events that are yet to come, clinging to events that have already passed, the spirit and energy become worn out. This is like plants and trees flowering and blooming out of season. This is the road to death. Therefore, wise people are as careful of their vitality and spirit as one would be of jewels. When they are used, they shine without dazzle. When put in storage, they are silent and still. Wise people act when it is appropriate to do so, stop when it is appropriate to stop. Action and stillness in their proper place, they do not damage the real with the artificial. If you know the things of the world are all artificial, and experience an intense awakening, reverse your direction, and then are sincere and undivided, not thinking about anything but essence and life, being attentive and careful, guarding against insidious tendencies. Over a long time your accomplishment will deepen, the mind will become spontaneously clear, the spirit will become spontaneously effective, inner thoughts will not arise, outer objects will not enter in, and there will be reality with no falsehood. When people are self-satisfied and complacent, presuming upon their ability and talent, knowing how to go forward but not how to withdraw, knowing how to be strong but not how to be weak, regarding only themselves and ignoring others, proud and arrogant, then eventually this will bring on calamity. Then their self-satisfaction will be useless. When people are humble and self-effacing, deferring to others, conceding to others, not full of themselves, not proud in spite of their achievements, not arrogant in spite of their talent, always seeking out their own faults while honoring the excellence of others, knowing when they have enough, knowing when to stop, knowing both how to advance and how to withdraw. Eventually this will bring on good fortune. Then they will rise from lowliness to exaltation. Therefore it is said that the modest receive increase, while the self-satisfied bring on loss. Modesty is better than self-satisfaction.